All right, here we go. So we're gonna be playing Mitsurugi Yummy right here. My opponent is going first. He's going to normal summon out Malulu, and then he grabs Lucius for some reason. I would have assumed he was grabbing Phimina right here. Um, if this was me, I would have grabbed Lucius first before summoning Malulu. Lucius summon, add Phimina, and then do the combo from there. Um, but for whatever reason, we know that he has Kitu in hand. We knew he had Malulu in hand, and he's adding Lucius, which means he didn't have that. He never activated Firmina this entire duel. So does he have it in his deck? We're gonna look at that after this video and find out. He has Rahu in hand, so we know that. So we know that if he had started this combo off, we know that if he started it off with Kitu, add Lucius, Lucius normal summon, add Phimina, Phimina, use the Malulu in hand plus the Lucius that's on the field, we know he can at least combo that way, right? We know he can at least do that because that's two cards that we know for sure he would have had in his hand, and I wouldn't have been able to stop it. That was the play. So I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. So he's going Arthalion right here. He sent the Urgula, so it's fine by me. And then he summons Flame. He's adding the Lucius back, and then he summons out Horn. Now, he could have went Malulu effect because he never actually activated Malulu, tributing the Malulu plus the Arthalion to make Gulamel, and then setting the Sting as well. Does he run Sting? We're going to find out. Does he run Phimina? We're going to find out. Because he didn't, I never saw either of those two cards this entire duel. So I'm going to special summon out the Speedroid Teratop. I know that he can't negate this card unless he has Effect Veiler or something, and I don't care if he negates it. I also know that when he bounces this card back with Horn, I can just re-special summon it right back out. I did not use my normal summon, as you can see right there in the left corner, left center of the screen. It says I'm 1 by my summon. That's my normal summon. I know I special summon this because I don't have any monsters on the field, so I can special summon it. So he is going to Horn, put it right back into my hand, wasting his Horn basically. And then I just re-special summon it back out. And then we're going to go into Camellia right here. Now, I should have chained prayers to his Horn so he lose both of those. But I didn't. That's a misplay on my part. He goes into Arthalion right here. He should have went into Gulamel because it's going into Arthalion means that I can just make Camellia again. Because now what he's doing is he's just bouncing this back. So it's going back into my extra deck so I can just use it again. No, you go Gulamel and you pop my bridge and I can't use it. But hey, it is what it is. Listen, this guy's made so many misplays with this deck that even with the misplays, I still don't think he could have won this match, but he could have put himself into a better position to win it. Because I just had way too many cards to actually play through everything. But he could have put himself in a better position to actually win. But whatever, it is what it is. Some players are just not that smart. Like Doctor Who the fuck is named Doctor Who? And their brain is so dim-witted. So I'm just going to go grab Purification. So at this point, now he can't really stop anything. We know that there's no way he has any hand traps other than possibly like Nibiru. And any hand traps that he may have, we know he don't have Impulse, Purge, Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Droll and Lockbird, none of that, because he would have used all of that already. Like, he would have 100% used all of that stuff already, especially how dumb this guy is. Come on now. He would have used all of that already. Any hand traps, like he can't even use imperm because, and I don't think Draco Tail players run imperm anyways, but no effect Veiler, we know that because he would have used effect Veiler when I summoned out the level threes that special summoned the speedroids. We know he don't have Ash because he would have ashed the search for the mirror and the ritual. So we know he don't have that. I mean, what does this guy have? I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. So yeah, we're gonna go Diviner of the Herald to send Herald of Arclight to grab Miracle Raven. Of course, Miracle Raven contribute the Diviner, but he didn't even stick around to continue to make the plays. So let's look at his deck. So here is his deck. And what cards was in his hand? Well, shit, I don't know. My assumption is based on how he was playing. My assumption is he was probably holding Nibiru. But if he was holding Nibiru, he would have dropped Nibiru on me instead of quitting. He would have kept staying in there. So it couldn't have been Nibiru. Couldn't have been. It more than likely was probably Fawalos and Parelia probably. That's my assumption. Or maybe an extra copy of Kitu or Rahu. Maybe even Raigeki. Because, yeah, anything else, if it was a trap, he would have said it. If it was a spell, or if it was branded fusion, he would have used it. If it was one of the other hand traps, other than like the Molcharmies, it had to have been a Molcharmy. If it was one of the different hand traps, he would have used it. If it was a different Draco Tail monster, he would have just used it for fusion and then summoned Sting, right? Or am I tripping? I mean, he definitely has 3 copies of Femina in his deck. He never he never went into Femina. Like he never searched for Femina. Like it's so stupid to me that people play like this. He never put Sting onto the field, which could have helped him, but he runs it in his deck. Why not go into Sting, bro? Like what? Trying to go into the brain of like Duelist, I don't understand. He definitely has Gulamel. Why didn't he go into it? Bro, I don't know. He definitely has Heretic Seals. So he potentially could have made Heretic Seals of the Heavenly Spheres. He potentially could have made this. If he had an additional monster in his hand, he could have made this if he had went Lucius, searched Femina, link Lucius off for the... Actually, where the fuck? He couldn't have made this. No, he couldn't. This guy's a fucking idiot. There's a card that you need in your deck to go into Heretic Seals of the Heavenly Spheres. Let's look at my Draco Tail deck to see what card that is. I don't know it off head, but I know he don't got it in here because I don't see that shit. This is the card he needed. Spirit with the Eyes of Blue. He needed this card in his Draco Tail deck. Now, this is my Draco Tail deck right here. It's a little bit different. And why do I have one random leg of Exodia in my fucking Draco Tail deck? I don't know. I think I was trying something out and I just forgot to take it out. But yeah. So let's put this back to how it was. What are we missing? We're missing something. Oh yeah. There we go. I think I was doing something with Exodia. So ignore that. Ignore that little mishap. But yeah. So Draco Tail deck here. And by the way, Maxi is about to get put to 1 after today is over. So y'all might want to enjoy that Maxi before the ban and it goes to 1. And then let's take some more looks at some more Mitsurugi Yummy stuff that we did. All right, so here we go. Like, I've been watching the Yu-Gi-Oh anime lately, and it's so funny to me because all I could think of in that first match was like Kaiba playing against like Joey Wheeler and just constantly calling him a third-rate duelist. You're a third-rate duelist with a third-rate deck. Like, your dueling skills are amateur. Like, just thinking of that as I was playing that other guy because he was just making so many mistakes. Um, of course, I'm doing the Miracle Raven combo line right now, where you use Miracle Raven to tribute Miracle Raven, which is why you want to run 2 Miracle Ravens. I've seen so many people put this in their deck, and they have no idea how to actually play it. Well, I'm showing you how to actually play the card right now. I'm doing the full combo. So the purpose of the Miracle Raven card is to go Diviner, Diviner send Herald of Arclight, Herald of Arclight search for Miracle Raven tribute Diviner to summon the Nuvellis search for the Miracle Raven tribute the Miracle Raven on field, which is what you saw me do. And then you go into the Camellia Bridge that also searches for your Habakiri or Futsu or whatever ritual monster that you want, while also giving you 2 bodies on the field, which will allow you to go into the Yummy Bridge through Cupsy Yummy Way, searching for 2 Yummies, and then it'll also give you the ritual monster for Mitsurugi in hand. So it's a 2-way bridge that allows you to bridge into both engines, while starting your combo off with Diviner, with Herald of the Arclight. Off of the Send, by the way. So we're just going to go ahead and go right into Sprite Elf right here. And we're not going to use that Sprite Elf's ability into the end, because we're going to use that to make our Baron de Floor. We're going to go into Herald of Arclight right here, so we have an Omni Negate, so he can't really stop anything we can do further at this point. We don't need these 2 bodies anymore, so we're just going to link these off for IP Masquerada. Once we got Sprite Elf and Herald of Arclight, we don't really need the rest of the Yummy stuff, because we're kind of done with Yummy plays aside from that Revive level 2, just so we can go into Baron. We're going to go Habakiri. And I run 2 Kusanagis in this deck, specifically, so then that way I can do the ritual combo while Herald of Arclight is on the field. That way I don't have to do any kind of play arounds or anything. I don't even have to think about how to play around it. I can just play through it and it won't matter. And as you see, Kusanagi is in my hand and Kusanagi is in my banished pile. So yes, I do run 2 for that reason. We're going to go Baron de Floor right here and then use the mirror to summon Futsu. So that 1-for-1 kind of didn't hurt me when I used it earlier to summon, sending the Futsu, because I knew I could just resummon it off a mirror from the graveyard. And at this point, we're just kind of getting a couple cards out of our deck. We're going to go Purification. And let's look at our inboard. So we have Herald of Arclight, Omni Negate. And we got Baron de Floor, Omni Negate, plus Herald of Arclight is a Floodgate. We have a discard to negate with Mirakumo, which could be considered a Omni Negate if they have no monsters in their hand. You have Omni Negate with Great Purification. Oh yeah, also Mirakumo is a board wipe. Futsu will be able to summon bodies back out as they special summon. We'll be able to use Sprite Elf to bridge into Yummy, which Revive Yummy. Yummy can do so much in this deck. IP Masquerade will be able to go into SP Little Knight. And then we have the Yummy Surprise, which can do a whole lot. Yummy Surprise can be a 2-card bounce, which we can actually use at some point later on. It's kind of one of the like later things that you would do, is use Yummy Surprise to bounce 2 cards on the field back to the hand. I'm just not going to do it yet. It's one of my later things because usually I try to get my field cleared of all the other stuff first so I can make space for Yummy stuff. So the first thing my opponent is going to do is tribute the Herald of Arclight for Gamma Seal. So he did not want that floodgate on the field. I searched for Mirror right here in this case because I can use Mirror to tribute the Habakiri to summon back like Mirakumo if it's in my graveyard, or Futsu, or whatever I want to summon back. It'll also allow me to search for a prayers too in doing so. So yeah, that's the reason I search Mirror right there. And if you activate the Omni effect of the Herald of Arclight, it'll also allow you to search as well. So if you use it, you'll be able to search. It's just long as it goes to the graveyard. He's going to summon Diviner. I'm just going to chain the Mirakumo right here because now he has to discard because Diviner doesn't actually do the search. It just does the send. So I know he's going to send something to the graveyard. I'm going to force him to discard to actually resolve this. And I know this is crucial for most decks that this resolves. So if he's normal summoning Diviner right here, he needs it to go through. So he's going to have to discard something. So he discards, summon the Diviner. And of course, I have so many Omni Negates, but I'm not going to waste an Omni Negate. No, I'm just going to Ash that. And there we go. All right, here we go. So let's kind of go into our next match here. So this time we're going to go Diviner. I need to slow this down so y'all can see this. Diviner, Send Herald of Arclight, Miracle Raven, tribute the Diviner. Just like I said, this is how you do the combo using Miracle Raven. For people who don't know, you're going to summon out the Novellas, which is this card here. Go Miracle Raven, tribute the Miracle Raven, and then we're going to summon the Miracle Raven back out. This will trigger the other Miracle Raven to search for any ritual monster, and then we're just going to go into Camellia. Of course, Camellia is going to do the Herald Bridge, so we're going to send the Hornet Drones, link that off for Kagari, and then Kagari is going to add back the Hornet Drones summon. Level 1 body. We're going to use these two to go into Cupsy Yummy Way. Cupsy is going to add Lollipo and Marshmallow. I would prefer to add Marshmallow and Cupsy, but I already had Cupsy in hand, so I just added the Marshmallow. Realistically, that's all I really needed. And we're going to go Snatchy. We're going to synchro into Marshall Metal Marcher. And then we're going to grab the Yummy Surprise. And then we're going to go Sorrow Cat right here. And then, of course, we're going to synchro right in the Lollipo Yummy Way. This will just give us 2 bodies. And then we can go right in the Sprite Elf with these 2. And just like last time, we're not going to activate Sprite Elf until we're ready to go into Baron the Floor. Now we can go ahead and make our Herald of Arclight. So then that way we get our Omni Negate. And then we're just going to link these 2 into IP Masquerada. And then we can do our Mitsurugi plays just like last time. Mitsurugi summon Saji. Saji search for the ritual. Ritual is going to activate. We can banish the Aramasa and Kusanagi because, like I said, I run 2 Kusanagi in this deck. And if you think that I'm just capping on that, you're going to see it again. So don't worry. You're going to see Kusanagi hit my hand. And I like to put Kusanagi in my hand. So then that way on the next following turn, I can just normal summon it out. Or I could tribute it using prayers to actually just get its effect off. So I like to have it in hand so then that way I can just normal summon it, get access to whatever I want from my graveyard or banish zone, and then I could just make my plays from there. So now we're gonna go over on the floor. Oh yeah, and by the way, Kusanagi, since I use prayers through my Mitsurugi combo, prayers will be in my graveyard, so I can just Kusanagi for prayers. Prayers go back right into my combo. I can actually tribute the Kusanagi to summon another body, so it's pretty good. There it is. That's my second copy of Kusanagi. So as you can see, Kusanagi still in my banish zone, and there's one in my hand. So of course we're going to grab the purification, and then we're going to set our cards. And I'm just going to activate this to send the field spell back because I do want to use that field spell on my opponent's turn so I can pop some cards. If we get that far, he's going to set a bunch of face down cards. So he set 5, and then he was going to pass. So I just go ahead and go SP Little Knight, SP Little Knight to banish. And I hit the big Welcome Labyrinth, which is a good hit right there. And then I go ahead and go Baron de Fleur to pop. Now, let me show y'all the amount of luck that I have. The luck that I have is so insanely good with which card I actually targeted to pop. It's so funny to me because when you see what card I picked to pop, you'll be like, this guy, luckiest guy on the planet. There's no way that he hit that card specifically because he can't do a damn thing with the card that I like decided to pop. And I know that he has 3 more cards on the field, and I have 3 Omni Negates. So if he doesn't flip that card over, if that was a card that he could actually use, if he doesn't flip that one over, I basically win because I can Omni Negate the other 3. So let's see how this plays out. He's going to go Big Welcome Labyrinth. I'm going to use the Baron de Fleur to negate that. He's going to go, what card is this? Different Dimension Ground. So any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So we're going to go Herald of Arclight to negate that. And then he is going to flip over, what is this? Dimensional Barrier. So he flips the barrier over. And it doesn't matter what he's going to call because I'm not letting a D barrier resolve, my boy. So, of course, I am going to negate that with Great Purification. He's calling Synchro, so then that way he can stop my yummy stuff. So that destroys the D barrier. Dimensional Ground is destroyed. Welcome Labyrinth is destroyed. And then would you look at that? I hit an Eradicator Epidemic Virus. He wouldn't have been able to do a damn thing with this Eradicator. But if he had a transaction rollback, then he would have been able to use this card, which is probably what his plan is. More than likely not tributing, but he needed that probably in his graveyard, but he also needed transaction rollback. If he would have activated transaction rollback, then it would have, and the Eradicator, he could have popped my spells for sure, but I can still win without the spells. I could basically chain SP Little Knight to Baron de Fleur, banish Baron de Fleur. When it comes back, my Omni Negate is reset, so then I can basically just Omni Negate still, and then I can still do yummy plays. I can still do my yummy stuff. So yeah. And there it is. So he's pretty much done for. If you're playing and you do get hit with Eradicator, I do want to say this. If you do get hit with Eradicator, and you have the Acro key, whatever the card, that yummy field spell, the one that starts with the A, if you have that in your deck, after you get hit with Eradicator, if you then make the Link 1, when it summons out, you'll be able to activate that from the deck. If you get hit with Eradicator before you do that, um, then it won't get popped when it goes onto the field. It has to already be on the field for it to get popped. It has to be in your hand for it to get popped, or you have to draw it to your hand for it to get popped. That's how you can play around Eradicator if they do try to Eradicator for spells. If they Eradicator for traps, it doesn't really matter because the purification, it's already been played and it's already in my graveyard. I can add purification from my graveyard to my hand with Kusanagi. If I do that, if I add it from my graveyard to my hand through Kusanagi, it's not being added from the deck. So the Eradicator wouldn't be able to destroy it when I add it back from the graveyard to my hand. So that's another way of being able to play around Eradicator. So I was pretty much lit. Also, the field spell can add back. I can also add back the surprise off of the yummy monster from the graveyard to the hand, and then I can set it. So Eradicator will be completely useless if he were to activate it for spells or traps against this particular deck that I'm playing. So I wasn't really worried about that Eradicator anyways. But I just wanted to point that out for other people who may not understand and think that they lost the match because they get hit with an Eradicator. Um, yeah, just a couple things to kind of point out there. Let's look at another match. All right, here we go. So this time I'm going first. I got Diviner. I also have the yummy stuff. He's going to Ash my Diviner of the Herald, which is fine by me because check this out. Look what you can do if somebody ashes your Diviner. You can simply link this sucker off for Solemn Grey Almirage. Because you have a link 1 now, you can special summon out your yummy stuff. And then you can just go right into Cupsy Yummy Way. And doing it like this, if they were to activate something, you can just summon. You can actually trigger the Cupsy if they were to chain. So now it makes it even harder for them to interrupt after that because they interrupted the Diviner. So we're just going to basically just do full yummy combo right here. Marshall Metal Marcher. Summon back the Cupsy. Summon one more body out. The Cookie. And then we're going to go into Herald of Arclight right here. So we get our Omni Negate. Summon our bodies back out. This time we're going to go into Lollipo Yummy Way, which will summon out 2 more bodies. And then we're going to use these 2 to go into Sprite Elf. Of course, Herald will search for the Habakiri. We're going to use these 2 to go into Samsara Sarakat. And then IP Masquerena. And just like the last time, don't worry. We're going to activate the Sarakat. I'm going to use Surprise to summon Marshmallow Yummy back to the field to add the Surprise back. And then we're just going to use these 2 on the field to go right into another Herald of Arclight, the one that we sent back. And we can do everything that we did before. So we can use the Sprite Elf, of course, to make our Baron de Fleur. And we can basically just do full Mitsurugi combo, just like last time. Now, I do believe this match became a little difficult for me because I was playing a little slow. It's not necessarily that I was playing slow on this match, but more so, I was at work. So when I'm at work, I play this game on my phone. Um, and I believe someone came up to me while I was playing this match and was talking to me, and I was trying to lock in and win this game, but they were talking to me for so long about something, and I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, 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 okay, oh yeah. And I was on my lunch break, and they were talking to me about work, and I was just like, I don't really give a fuck about work right now. I'm on my lunch break. Walk away. So, with that being said, I wasted a lot of time, so my timer got really low towards the end of the combo. And it made it kind of difficult to really do what I needed to do. So you will see me get my board broken a little bit more than normal in this combo because I couldn't do any more reactions. Like, I was out of time. I literally had 0 seconds on the clock. So I had to just turn off my toggle and allow them to do whatever they could do. And I still ended up winning. So don't worry. So we're going to Sprite Elf right here. He's going to attack into my Herald of Arclight. I grab Mirror, and I know I can't lose at this point, so I don't care. We're going to activate, and then he is going to go. He's going to go for the Fiendsmith Tract, and at this point, my timer was low. If you see anybody allowing stuff to just kind of happen right here, you know that their timer is low. If they're, because I had my toggle off, so I missed the first toggle to chain. So I just switched the field spells out real quick. And then I grab Snatchy, or activate the Snatchy real quick right here to go into Cups of Yummy Way. And then I use this to go ahead and pop. And I don't even search. I don't even search with Cups of Yummy Way. Look, I could have searched right there off of the Synchro Summon. Didn't even bother to search because my timer was so low. I just popped and then turned my toggle back off, and he couldn't continue to play through anything. He could have done whatever he could do because I had my toggle off. If it showed the timer how much time I had, I wish there was a way that you could see how much time somebody has on replays. My timer literally said 0, so I had to toggle off and do nothing. Yeah, let me show y'all my yummy deck because people always ask what the deck is. So let me show you. So this is the deck that I was playing for Mitsurugi Yummy. It is a 60 card deck, and don't let it being 60 cards discourage you. It is very consistent, super consistent deck. For one, I run basically every yummy. I run basically every yummy card maxed out. 3 copies of Cupsy, 3 copies of Cookie, 3 copies of Lollipo, 2 copies of Marshmallow Yummy because that's the most they will allow you to run. 3 copies of Diviner of the Herald, which is basically full combo. 3 copies of Terra Top, which is basically full combo. If you don't know about, where is it at? Where is it at? This card right here, Saji, is full combo. So I should run this at 3, honestly. But yeah, Saji is full combo. So if you want to run Saji, you do it. If you're confused as to why I say Saji is full combo, let me kind of explain myself a little bit. It's full combo for Yummy, I should say, more than Mitsurugi. Basically, you can go Saji, normal summon. It adds prayers. You then, once you do that, you then link off the Saji on field for the Almirage. You link it off for Almirage. Once you do that, you activate the prayers to summon the Saji back out. And then once you do that, then you go into, where is it at? Camellia. and then you use the Camellia Bridge. That goes in the Yummy combo. So that's 2 bodies on the field off of 1 Saji. Go into Camellia, and then you can bridge into Yummy. Now, will you be able to go back into Mitsurugi stuff? Probably not, depending on your hand. If you got a hand with like a ritual but no monsters or whatever, or mirror, then maybe. I don't know. Depends on your hand, honestly. Um, Depends on what cards you got, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, so that's my deck that I pretty much run. 60 card deck. Don't let 60 cards discourage you. Sure, you could play this at 40. I like 60 cards for some reason. To me, 60 cards make the game more interesting. And this card right here, nobody runs this, but hey, listen. You saw me play this against Draco Tail, and what did I do with it? I baited this card baited out so much Draco Tail interruption because for one, they literally interrupted me multiple times and did nothing. They interrupted the Speedroid. So let me explain this. This card basically took up 2 of their interruptions. It was the Arthalion plus the Horn. Summoning this out, they bounced it back with Horn. Then I resummoned it back out, and the other monster that this card searched for, by the way, and then went into Camellia. They bounced the Camellia back, and I was going to go into Camellia again. So this used up so many of their interruptions. Like, it's funny. It's fantastic. I love it. I love the fact that it special summons out. It searches, and if they stop the search, then hey, listen, you still got a body on the field. So all you have to do now is just normal summon something else and then go into Camellia Bridge, right? That's what I was gonna do anyways, was going to Camellia Bridge. So it's perfect. And to be able to go into Camellia Bridge if they have no interruptions using both this Speedroid plus this Speedroid without using your normal summon is even better. Makes the combo even better. So that's why I love it. There are also other cards that kind of do this, but I believe they would use your normal summon. So, like, I'll show you. This card right here, for example, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent monster from your deck. What is a Sea Serpent level 3 or lower monster? Well, Deep Sea Diva is a level 3 or lower. So you can go 3 copies of Deep Sea Diva, normal summon Deep Sea Diva, summon out another copy, boom. There it is. You got your 2 bodies to go into the bridge. There are so many cards that do this. There are so, like, if you just look into cards that do like sprite combos, for example, 1 card sprite combos, most of those cards works here. As long as it doesn't lock you, have any restrictions, you basically can do those combos. Anything that can just summon out, search, or a special summon another body. Even like, I'll go, let me show y'all another deck that I play. Ignore the power. This card right here, Beautiful Princess. Special summon a level 4. Once you do this, then boom, you summon out a level 4. Buzzsaw Shark. Well, I guess this one wouldn't work because it would lock you into the extra deck. So this one wouldn't technically work. But let's see. Yeah, technically that one wouldn't work. So ignore that. But Hell, anything that normal summon, and then you can summon out another card. I'm just trying to find something that you can special summon two bodies out for free, pretty much, off of one card. Hell, shit, I'm pretty sure Scareclaw can do it. This card right here can do it for sure. I know this one can do it. Formula Skipper, normal summon, activate, and then you just link this off for a link one. It'll search for a Cyburst, and then you could basically just go into this Scareclaw Lightheart. Boom. Scareclaw Lightheart, search for Reichphobia. Reichphobia. I'm just showing y'all some shit you can do. This will search for another Scareclaw monster. You search whatever you want. Go Scareclaw, and then right into the link. Now, that's extra shit. I'm not saying do that, but that's extra steps. But hey, listen, you get your link one on the field. You're not locked into anything. You can continue to make plays. Boom. Even here's the funniest one of all of them that nobody thinks about is Prank Kids. Prank Kids is even funnier because you normal summon out a Prank Kid monster, and if you summon Fansies out, so you can go, like, for example, Lampsies, link it off for the link one, and then go summon Fansies out. And when you summon out Fansies, you now have a link one and a level one, which will allow you to go straight into Cupsy. So Prank Kids don't have to do the bridge. You can just go right into the you can just go right into the Cupsy Yummy way. So Prank Kids is a funny way of being able to do that. And people will think like, oh yeah, he's just playing Prank Kids. I'm not gonna stop that. I'm not gonna. I mean, they'll probably ash the card anyways. But hey, listen, you make a link one, so you'll have a link one on the field. So if you have any more yummies in your deck, they may ash the search, thinking that they're stopping you, and then you just special summon out one of your yummies. So Prank Kids could be a good way of actually bridging that way as well. But yeah, so hopefully y'all kind of like this video, and you know, I'm just trying to show a different way to actually play the deck, and kind of putting you into like my mindset a little bit, because you can kind of see the stuff that I think about, like the bridges. And I've been watching the anime a lot, like I said before earlier. Been watching the anime a lot earlier. Right now I'm on season 3 of the first Yu-Gi-Oh show, and I'm on the last battle of Yugi versus Merrick. And I've been watching like anime duels. I've always had these decks set up like this, but it just brought me back into the mindset of seeing the Destiny board deck being played by Merrick. And I love playing this deck. I mean, not Merrick, but Bakura. Also seeing Odeon's cards being played. So it's fun knowing that they put Odeon into the game. So I've also been playing this deck. And I wasn't playing this before watching the anime. So I just made this deck. I've already had the deck made, but I just started playing it. I didn't actually start playing it until after I saw Odeon kind of playing. So I thought like, oh yeah, this would be pretty fun to just play Odeon's deck. What other anime decks have I been wanting to try out because I've been watching? Oh man, I'm a little sick, so my nose keeps getting stopped up, so it's harder to talk. But yeah. What else? Oh yeah, Dark Magician. We got Dark Magician there. Yeah. And one thing that is so funny to me is that I actually forgot in the anime a lot of the cards that the characters had. I forgot that Joey gave Yugi his Red Eyes Black Dragon. Forgot about that. I thought that Joey had it the whole show. So going back and rewatching it, it's kind of funny to me because I'm like, damn, Yugi could have made Dragoon because he had Red Eyes in his deck. But yeah, um, Joey's main monster was really like Jinzo. So I would love to see a Jinzo deck inspired by Joey, like a Joey Wheeler Jinzo deck. I mean, he had some other cards too that kind of became his more main monster cards, like Gearfried and Guilford, the Lightning, and all of those good things. So I would love to see some decks like those, like Guilford, the Lightning, come out. That's like an anime inspired Joey Wheeler deck. That would be pretty cool. But anyways, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.